Hey. So normally I have been going everyday live inside my inner circle, inside the Awakened Soul Revolution group. But today's topic, I really felt a soul urgency to share it more widely. And it will go into my group as well. And on YouTube, you can catch up if you find this really interesting, you can catch this and all my videos up on YouTube. Hi, Nona. That sounded creepy. What specifically? Anyway, look, I wanted to pop on in because this is quite urgent and critical, and I'm getting a lot of people asking for sessions to be booked and reaching out for some certainty and like, just getting my take on some things. And I thought, let me just go on a broader range and help as many of you as possible with just being aware of what I feel is really going on, and I'm not going to go into the deep conspiracies of it all. I'll tell you something at the very end here, but what really I want to address is how to stay calm during a crisis, any crisis. And at the moment it seems globally everybody's very triggered by the coronavirus. And what is it that people lose mostly during a crisis? And some people might say, with all the toilet paper issues going on, it could be called sanity. But really, what is it that during any crisis that we lose potentially? And it's certainty. It's this sense of, I'm not necessarily going to have control outside of myself or things going on, so I'm going to try and control everything within my manner and my capacity so that I can have some sense of certainty. But the certainty, how is it rocked? It's rocked by all the fear porn that's thrown out through by the mainstream media and by people who perpetuate the narrative, and even buy into a low vibration around it. Now, I'm not discounting particularly about any crisis or the coronavirus. I think there needs to be some sense of vigilance and awareness around it, but I certainly don't buy into the whole fear porn narrative. And I want to invite you to really take your power back and to really step into releasing the fear porn, and so that you can step into a higher vibration and be more certain within yourself and make better decisions for yourself moving forward. Because when we're stressed and we're in fear, we tend to make really crappy decisions, right? And fear porn, it's like throwing chips to the seagulls. It's like, have you ever seen seagulls squabble over the chips? And then, like, have you ever seen someone who has thrown something might even be inedible to the seagulls, and they still squabble and fight over it, right? And you just think, oh, crazy stuff. But we're literally witnessing people do this on a grand scale, acting like this mentality of the seagulls squabbling over the scarcity and the scraps. And it's like, that stuff, buying into that is really going to lower your vibration, disrupt your ability to stay in balance, homeostasis, disrupt your ability to be able to make quality decisions for yourself moving forward. It'll cause you to go into contraction energetically, or you'll start spinning in a narrative about everything that's going on, and you won't necessarily be in a centered, poised, creative state to be solution orientated. And it's during times of crises that people, the sense of certainty tends to get cast way outside themselves. They're looking for some validation outside themselves. And I get it. We all can do that from time to time. But there are ways that you can be more centered and empowered to stay in your center. Now, let's just park the coronavirus for a moment, because the truth is there are people under enormous stress day to day, every day. Now, this is just an ultimate thing that's been cast on top, because people are constantly under stress about how do you make more money to meet the bills per week? How do you make your business survive if you've lost your passion in it, or if maybe you just feel like it's not working the way that you want it to work, or maybe it's your health issues, or any goal or idealization of how you want to be. If that's not working out the way that you want it to be, we can tend to spin in a negative narrative that really creates even more disconnection, dissonance from magnetizing the actual results that you truly want to call in and realize. So I want to just, think of a different bird here for a moment, and think about an eagle, and think about how an eagle doesn't fly low. An eagle flies high. It has quite a level of discernment, because it's more observing. It pulls back. It doesn't get caught down in the throng of all the quack, 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 quack of everything else that's going on. And if you get pulled down in a low vibration in the throng of the quack, 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 that's all you're going to end up with. And you're going to end up squabbling and going into that scarcity mode. Don't let yourself get tripped into that. Please, just don't. I'm going to invite you, stay in your power. I'll give you a few little tips on how to do that in a moment, and also some next steps to move forward. But with an eagle, you want to be able to be in that higher vibration so that you can be objective, observant, discerning, really deciding with discernment, extracting out all the crap and making sure that you are taking in mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, and spiritually only that which is of a higher vibration that's going to serve you. Be picky, be really picky about what you're tuning into, and for God's sake, turn off the mainstream media and even be selective through the social media. And you know, this is kind of using the topic of the coronavirus, but really this is about any crisis that you're in. Don't let other people's stories don't adopt them as your own. Tune inwards to tune into your own intuition and your own power. Stop giving it away to other people based on their narrative or the global collective that wants to have a certain agenda for you. Don't be an energy slave and give it away. You know, reclaim your power back and be that sovereign self. And, you know, you want to be able to stay focused. Here's some tips that I'm going to invite you to do. Stay focused on consistently designing your life with a positive intention. You know, you really want to be clear about what you want and not letting your energy, your vibration distract you into what you don't want, right? Because that vibration is what you're going to end up with, not the actual conscious goal setting. Your goal getting component is of the subconscious mind where all your programs are. You need your conscious mind, subconscious mind in alignment with your soul calling. And you can only do that when you've got those two in alignment. The programs need to be there, and the programs are run by the narratives that you run every single day, the words that you say every single day, and the conversations that you have with other people, the conversations that you have with yourself. They're going to determine and highlight what it is that you're thinking, what you believe is true or not true, what you believe is available or not available for you. And so you want to really, if you want to make a shift, make an instant shift about the words that you're using, and then tune into the energy of those words to really empower you to be in a high level vibration. So that's the second step too, is keeping your vibration high. Take daily action to stay in that peak emotional state. You really want to be taking care of that. That's your number one goal in life, is to harness and master your own energy. If you give that away, you end up becoming a slave to the system. And you will be harvested for your energy financially, emotionally, mentally, physically, in every way that you can imagine. And if you're experiencing any crisis or health issues, chronic fatigue, burnout, constant stress, constant anxiety, guess what? You're off balance. You're out of balance, and you're giving away your power. And so I want to invite you to go back to pick some practices that serve you, that help you feel good, because when you feel good, you're going to be able to get back into balance and align your energy. You're a divine being. We all are. And when we actually tune into that, we allow ourselves to trust ourselves. With that, we'll figure it out. We'll go back to balance. But you've got to stop allowing all the disruptions to the signals to yourselves that don't allow you to get back in balance. So if you're eating processed food, if you're taking in mental junk, if you're buying into the narrative of the global collective, if you're not taking care of your body, or not getting quality sleep, well, then they're all disruptions to your body's ability to just naturally find its balance again. So make sure that you're taking care of yourself. Be discerning about what you're taking in. Full stop. You know, just put some boundaries around those mental gates, physical gates, spiritual gates, emotional gates. If this is landing, let me know, right? Let me know that this is really working and that you're getting this. Please, boundaries is something that I struggled with for a long time as an empath. You know, my life learning, I didn't just have one experience with a narcissist, sociopath, or psychopath. I had at least 3 on a personal level. I was a professional paramedic as well, and I dealt with them on a weekly basis. I wouldn't say daily, but weekly, that were right in my face. And then I also lived with them as well. And I've had experiences, and they are all about reality fracturing. And, you know, after really finding my power and saying no to that anymore, and realizing I was abandoning myself and putting up with abuse because I was more afraid of being abandoned by somebody else, but really what I was doing was abandoning my own power and abandoning my own dreams. when I put a foot down and I said, I'm putting a line in the sand and I'm taking care of me, I'm putting some boundaries down, and I'm going to be really putting healthy care practices in place for me, healthy boundaries about who I'm letting in and who I'm not. That created a huge shift for me in my ability to quickly realign, to recalibrate, rejuvenate, revive my ability to bring my dreams back to life with where I'm going. And, you know, that little story, that little excerpt, that was my kindergarten warm up to discover what's really going on in the world at large, and to recognize the flags and the signals that are going on all the time. I spot them a mile away. And I don't have narcissists or sociopaths or psychopaths who come even a foot or a mile within me, because they know that I call them out real fast, and I've got my power, which wielded correctly, they realize that it's just not worth it, right? But if you drop your power down, and I've been there, if you drop your power down, you become a target. Don't do that. Right? Don't do that. Take your power back. I know it's easier said than done, but at least have the awareness and shift from just the I know that, and really embody it, really put it into practice for yourself every day. Make sure that you're having high quality nutrition every single day. You know, really ditch the processed foods, ditch the GMO foods, ditch all foods that are not real, raw and healthy, free range, organic. Really bump up the vitamins and the minerals, because you know, they're the founding blocks of our body and our metabolism and our ability to build and find balance. And if we disrupting our body with putting junk in, not only do we put in empty nutrients and you know, really probably high calories, the key thing is not only we're not getting the vitamins and minerals we needed as our building blocks, a lot of those foods are designed to actually draw whatever you've got left in your body, energy harvesting you. So you feel worse, you feel tired, and you feel like you don't have your power, literally, because you don't have the energy to function on a day-to-day basis, to be clear with your nervous system and your immunity and stepping into your power. So, you know, take these actions for yourself and really take your power back and step into a higher level of quality nutrition and high hydration of quality water. Stay vigilant, be smart. Don't give your power away to fear. Staying in a frequency of love is a higher vibration that allows you to, you literally almost become invisible to the rest of the stuff that's going on. You're in a different frequency. And it's like right now, those of you that are watching this video, you're tuned into a frequency with me and you've excluded everything else. It's invisible to you. And it's just like when you are in whatever frequency you're in, whatever matches that is going to be visible, and whatever is not in match with that will be invisible. So if you want to have a higher quality experience, then tune out of the misery and tune out of the fear and tune out of the anxiety and the self-doubt and the hate and the resentment and anything that goes on there. Tune out of the judgment, because that's a disconnect from love. You want to tune into the frequency of love, tune into gratitude, tune into really focusing on high level vibrations, so that you can then create new in the moment from those vibrations. It's not to say that the other things aren't going on, but it just means you don't have to be affected and at the effect of those things going on. You can bypass a lot of that, literally being invisible to the frequencies of what's going on. So really stay vigilant and smart. Is this valuable? Are you getting me here? Are you really getting this? And the next thing I wanted to just invite for you is check your narrative. Don't buy into other people's stories, all the global collective, all the mainstream news. Don't let it hijack your perception or your energy. Your words determine your reality. And if you're taking on other people's words and their stories, and that just gets looped inside your own head, it's seeded, right? So you want to delete that. You want to create a new narrative. And in the words that you use, make sure that they're empowering yourself and others, and make positive assumptions of the collective humanity. I know a lot of you are waking up and it's fantastic. And then you're like, oh, but so many people are still asleep. It's not true. The people are popping like popcorn every single day. You need to shift that narrative, and you need to go, you know what? There are people waking up every single day. I've got goosebumps, right? Goosebumps, right? I'm saying this right now. People are really waking up and getting it. And those of us that are awake and really understand the bigger the picture, our job is to stand there in support, because we've already been through the rigmarole and the spin and the dark night of the soul and everything else. And there's a lot of grief and identity crisis and all stuff that goes on. As soon as people start to realize what really is going on. So if you're one of these people that I'm speaking to right now with that narrative, you need to shift your narrative too. Even if you think you're being positive, I'm watching a lot of people. You need to up your game. You need to shift that word vocabulary. You need to believe in it even more. You need to hold that space, because you can't support anyone else any greater than you're supporting yourself. Otherwise, you're going to be triggered every time somebody else goes off, right? Don't get into the fear game. Don't go into the porn. Keep you in the fear porn. Make sure that you are really boosting your vibration. So I really wanted to share that with you. Excuse me, I'm just taking a bit of a drink. Those are some key tips that I want for you today. I know a lot of people, I've been flooded in my inbox with people asking me, can I do an energy balance call with you? I'm going to do a couple of things. I'm extending a special that I've had this week. Instead of my normal rate, it's 75% off. I just want to help as many people as I can. So there's a link above. It's actually only available for this week, but you can book in, book your schedule, and you can even book next week still. So I'll leave it up. I'll extend it to the weekend. If you feel like you need some assistance to accelerate being in that alignment, it's only $97 for a call with me at the moment. So go grab one of those. The benefits that you'll get out of that is you'll release stress that is activated in your body. And literally every single time I can shift people, even if they're a 10 or a 20 out of 10, stress to a 0 within minutes, because I get to the root cause, how I work with you and your energy. I do the energy block clearing, as well as I can identify traumas that are the real activators for you that keep hooking into the story. When we release that, then it just becomes neutralized. You don't react. You can respond more intelligently instead. The other benefits you'll have is feeling immediately calm in your mind and your body, and instantly drop into peace. It's like this, it's very unfamiliar for a lot of people. It's just like, oh, space. It just feels like all the noise stopped. And that's one of the great benefits of doing an energy clearing and a balance. Gain clarity over what the next best 3 steps for you are moving forward before you even get off the call. We'll make sure that you've got that. We'll help you release the root cause that had keeping you anchored and re-triggered all the time. So we'll just clear that, and which allows you to quit the negative repetitive loops. Another thing that you'll feel is immediately feel empowered with a heightened awareness of how you can use your awareness for your good moving forward, and also experience a greater sense of certainty for yourself. You'll have that power back inside of yourself with clarity and a purpose and direction to move forward. So if that's something that's for you, it's not for everybody, but if that's something for you, or you know someone who's like really tripping out and they want to be balanced, that's my specialty. I'm fantastic at helping people doing that really quickly without a whole bunch of rigmarole and for all that goes with it. One of the things I wanted to leave you with a final thought with, for those of you who are waking up and awake, what if the greatest conspiracy of life is to awaken to your own goodness? What if that's what this is all really about? I just want to leave you with that thought and allow you to seed that, and invite you to have a really amazing day with lots of love, light, and manifesting lots of magic. Be amazing. Be the divine bright being of love and light that you are. You were born to be, and you're here to be. Reach out if you want to have any questions or chat, and let me know if this has been really valuable for you, please. I'll make it public so you can share it. Spread it. Like, we're so sick of all the fear porn, right? Spread the love. Spread the love. Have an amazing day or night wherever you are in the world. I love you. Take care of you.